Isaiah 43. Isaiah 43. We're going to start reading at verse number 15. I'm reading from the New Living Translation. It says, I am the Lord, your Holy One, Israel's Creator and King. I am the Lord who opened a way through the waters, making a dry path through the sea. I called forth the mighty army of Egypt with all its chariots and horses. I drew them beneath the waves and drowned them, their lives snuffed out like a smoldering candle wick. Here is the part. But forget all of that. It is nothing compared to what I am going to do. For I am about to do something new. See, I have already started it. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry waste land. I want to use for a subject this day, it's about to get better. It's about to get better. That's a prophetic word right there for somebody. What I have grown to consider to be one of the most divinely inspired words given or pieces of advice given to us is when Paul told the Roman church, don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is one of the most powerful forms or pieces of advice that can be given. Don't allow yourself to be changed by the things that happen around you. Instead, think for yourself and allow your new thoughts to create new experiences. What an amazing piece of advice. When Paul said, you ain't got to be like everybody else. You ain't got to act like everybody else. You ain't got to think like everybody else. If you want something different, before different ever begins, it has to start with a different way of thinking. William Shakespeare says, nothing is good or evil, but thinking makes it so. Nothing is good or evil, but it's how you think about it. Your perception is what puts a label on every experience that you have. If you are that person that only thinks negative thoughts, then every one of your experiences will be negative. Why don't nobody like me? Is that everybody not liking you, or is that just what you think? Why can't I ever get ahead in this world? Is it that you can't get ahead in this world, or is that just what you think? Because I can easily shift the way that I think and change the way I experience life. Because here's what I know. I know that you are creators and co-creators with God to create the life that you want. Pastor Jones said, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh, and it dwelt among us. The Word, the Word, the Word. God created, and He spoke. Greater things than these shall you do, because I go to my Father in heaven. That means that I get to speak over my own life. I get to speak to my own self. I get to speak. And what I say is what creates the life that I want to live. I know that's so hard for some of you to believe because you want to blame everybody else. But the real fact of the matter is it ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It has everything to do with you. When you start speaking positive things come to you. Positive people come to you, because positivity and negativity cannot cohabitate. It's going to be one or the other. You want to attract positive people around you, go-getters and people that want to have a good life and laugh, and that's what you've got to be. You've got to think that. It ain't. I have zero tolerance for excuses. And I'm going to tell you why. Who in our history had it as bad as those that were enslaved? You think you got it bad because you can't get your nails done this week. You think you got it bad because Friday can't get here quick enough. But who in our history has had it as bad as those who have been taken out of their homes and beaten and bruised and battered and told they were less human? But in spite of all of that, you still had those who created, those who rose above it all, those who were trailblazers, those who said, in spite of my environment, I know that I am somebody. You can take me and put me in the worst situation, but you can't tell me how I can think. Nelson Mandela said that. You can imprison my body, but you cannot imprison my mind. I get tired of people talking about what they can't do, what they can't have, who they can't be because of where they perhaps grew up at. Because of my daddy was this or my mama was this. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody but you. Yes, I'm fussing and I know it's hidden, but it ain't got nothing to do with nobody. Because if you make up in your mind that you want to be somebody, can't nothing or nobody stop you. If you want to make up in your mind that you can have something, can't nothing or nobody stop you. You and God are creators together of the kind of life you want to live. So you can keep coming up with excuses if you want to and stay where you are. But I promise you, as long as I'm standing here right now, when you open up your mouth and start thinking differently, because what happens when you think differently, you speak differently. And when you speak differently, you experience differently. But it's so much easier, Pastor, to come up with an excuse than it is to come up with a reason why I can be who I want to be. It gets hard sometimes when I feel like I'm out here by myself. So what? So what? What's a little hard to somebody that has declared that I'm going to have such and such by the end of the year? We get caught up. Here is the thing. When you make up in your mind that I want a different life, you have the power to change any aspect of your life. Listen to me, hear me. You have the power to change any aspect of your life. If you want better health, you don't get better health if you don't think better health. When you start thinking about how you want your health to transform, that's what creates the doing. That's what creates the believing. And then from believing, you go to knowing. And when you know that better health is possible, when you are tempted by the buffet, you have the power to say no. I do. You do if you know that that's what you want. If you don't think it first, let me see. I'm trying to say this and y'all still like me after I finish. When you decide that you want better health, you got to see yourself the way that you want to see in the end. So when you stand in the mirror and you start looking at yourself, you don't see yourself for how you are. You see yourself for how you want to be. Are you with me so far? So that means that the more you convince yourself, being transformed by the renewing of your mind, the more you convince yourself that you can have this, the more determined you become. And the more determined you become, you don't let nobody or nothing keep you from reaching your goal. Let me say it like this. If you go back and look in the Old Testament, even in the New Testament, anytime there was going to be a shift in the nation of Israel, God sent a prophet to speak. Why would God always send a prophet to tell them what was going to happen when they were in a situation that was contrary to what they were wanting? Can y'all help me real quick? Come here. Come on. Yeah. This is the nation of Israel. Okay? This is the nation of Israel. In our text, in the nation of Israel, they were slaves in Babylon, captured. In our text, they were in a bad situation. So God sends a word through the prophet Isaiah that says, start it out, look up at the 43 and 1. It says, fear not. Stop worrying about where you are, because I'm going to tell you where you're about to end up. So what happens is, when God sends a word, he's trying to get them to start thinking differently. You a slave, you a slave, you a slave, you a slave. They don't like you here, they don't like you here, they don't like you here, they don't like you here. God says, fear not, don't worry about it. I'm getting ready to do something for you that's going to blow your mind and all the folk that don't like you mind. I'm getting ready to show you how good it's about to get. Anybody hear me right now? I'm going to show you. So he sends Isaiah. He says, remember when I brought you out of Egypt? Remember when I parted the Red Sea for you to walk out out on? Remember when you turned around and watched Pharaoh's army? He said, forget all of that. That ain't nothing compared to what I'm getting ready to do for you. That ain't nothing. I'm really getting ready to blow your mind. You thought that was amazing? Look, I'm getting ready. He says, listen. He says, don't you see it? If they are slaves, God said, don't you see it? Where do you think he was telling them that they needed to see it first? You gotta see it in your mind first. You can't talk about I want to be free and in your mind still act like a slave. You can't talk about I want a corner office where I can wear a suit and a tie and you go to work every day acting like you work in the mailroom. It starts in your mind. He said, don't you see it? It's already begun. Your freedom is already here. You got to see it. I don't want you to act like a slave. I want you to act like you're going to act when you get free. Jesus said, when you pray, you act like you got it before you get it, and then I'll give you anything you ask for. How do you act like you got it before you get it if you at first don't see it in your mind? Don't that sound like you're in control of your life? Don't that sound like you're in control? Because I can call you anything, but if you don't think it or believe it, what I say don't matter. I can say you won't ever have anything or be anybody, but if that ain't what you see or think in your mind, what I say ain't gonna matter. Harriet Tubman said, I freed thousands of slaves, but I could have freed thousands more if they just realized they were slaves. I can bless thousands more of you to be multimillionaires, but you got to act like you're a multimillionaire. Do you see how it works? It starts in your mind. So when Isaiah was sent, he said, look, I'm about to do something new. Things are getting ready to get better for you. But before they get better, you got to stop all the complaining. You got to stop all the belly aching. You got to stop all the crying and stop being afraid of everything. And you've got to open up your mind to believe that what I have for you is for you. And if you want to see your business grow, you got to see it here before it happens out here. If you want to see your family grow, you got to see it here before it happens out here. If you want to see your bank account grow, you got to see it here before it happens out here. If you want your body to be transformed, you got to see it here before it happens out here. If you want to see your children transformed, you got to see it here before it happens out here. If you want to see your life transformed, you got to see it here before it happens out here. You know how? You know what happens? When you sit in church for 1 hour and you get inspired and you walk out, yes, I'm going to get it. I got it. I'm going to get it. And then one person says, Monday coming and it's going to be so hard. I'm already broken. We just got paid Friday. And you know what you do? You co-sign on those thoughts and those words by saying, child, I already know, me too. You know what I learned how to start saying? That might be your testimony. Nothing to do with me. It ain't no such thing as running out with me and God. I know how to speak those things that be not as though they already are. I ain't worried about that. If that's your testimony, you can take that and tell it to somebody else. My testimony is, greater is he that's in me. Y'all better stop co-signing on folk. Stop. And speak over your own life. God sent this word today to tell you that things are about to get better. I'm trying to give you better, but I need you to see it here first. Speak to yourself. You ought to stand in the mirror every day and say, thank you, because I know things are going to get better. My health getting better, my wealth getting better, my relationships getting better, my children getting better. That's all it takes. Because after a while, you're going to say it so much that you're going to believe it. And then you're going to know it. And if anybody says anything contrary to what you've been telling yourself, you got to go away from here with that. I can't deal with that right now. Do y'all get it? It's really that simple. We defeat our own selves. We keep our own selves from moving forward. And want to blame it on other folk. Y'all stand up. I'm finished. I promise you I'm finished. I ain't got nothing else to say. I need you to understand that your words will either destroy your life or create new things in your life. Your words, your life. It doesn't matter what anybody else says about you. It don't matter. Well, they call me everything but a child of God. Medea said it's what you answer to that makes a difference. Let them call you whatever they want to call you. That's their perception of you. She stay broke. Yeah, I did last week. But this week, my mindset just shifted. It just shifted. Talk about a new thing. Talk about a new thing that God is trying to do in your life. I just need to know how many of you, when Isaiah says, look, it's starting now. How many of you see it happening right now for yourself? This is about you. How many of you see it now? This is why you showed up for church today. Do you know that? You're not here by happenstance. You showed up on the right day at the right time to get a new mindset. That's how much God loves you. He wants to do a new thing, and you got to let him. It ain't nobody else. It ain't about nobody else. Well, my boss said that I'd never get promoted. Ain't you glad your fate ain't in your boss's hand? Doors of the church are open.